Hey, yo, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about data fetching and what data fetching is actually and how to data fetch in Next.js 14 plus. Let's talk about data fetching first. What basically is data fetching? So we have our application, Next.js application here. We have stored some data in the cloud. Let's just call it here a data in the cloud. That something that just exists or that we've created or saved into the database. If you're not familiar with the concepts of a database, data store, or API, or whatever, don't worry about it. We will talk about it soon. For the purpose of this example, think of the data as a some information exists about some other place. It could be anything. Products at the supermarket, I mean type of beers, products of a company, movies. You can search everywhere for this data or something that you stored previously stored in your database. For example, number of orders, number of to-do items that you've stored. It could be anything. But how can we actually connect or talk from data to our application? Or how can my application request the data in the cloud and show it to the people? That's when APIs come in handy. APIs are the middleware between our application and our data store. So I'm not going to talk about how to create an API here. I'm just going to this website and try to fetch some of the data as needed. Okay, this is the syntax that they used in a React application, but I just wanted the link. This is ugly type of data, but when we sort it or format it, we get this kind of data. So this is an API for types of wines. For example, it has ID for identification between each. It has to be unique and non-duplicate. Image of the wine, location, rating, and vine name and winery. This is a good API to start with. Let's just copy this URL and go to our application. Okay, in order to fetch data for our application, I'm going to request the data. Wines, I'm just gonna create a new folder, page TSX. Okay, wine page. We have two kinds of components, a, a client component or a server component. In Next.js 14, the default is a server component. We're going over that in another video, but for your information, we are using the server component as defaults because it's more optimized and it's faster. And we can use async function in order to fetch data. Okay, fetch, let's not use it first. Fetch as a keyword is a reserved word for JavaScript to fetch data from another place. The main functionality of that is to go search for some data in another place. So we're gonna use fetch, okay, response, and we type in the URL, okay, response. It has to go search in another place, for example, api.sampleapis.com. We have to wait while the request is fetching and see what it says. Expression are allowed within async function at the top of level of modules. Did you mark this? Did you mean to mark this function as async? Since we gotta wait, either we have to use callback functions, for example, dot then or that, or we have to mark this as an async function to wait for such an API. And we for response, we have to say await response.json, transform this in data into JSON. I want the body of it. Gonna, for example, wine implicitly has an any type. It's okay. So I'm just gonna give it any. Let's see if it's working now. What was my folder name? Vines. It definitely fetched the data, but what does it look like here? Because we have vine name, vine year. I don't think that was the field called winery. Just click, let's copy one item from here. Okay, let's show them vine.wine, for example, wine dot, and let's create an image, source, uh, wine dot image. I don't want a year of it. I wanna, that's enough. And we have to create an alt tag for it. Wine, wine.wine for this alt tag means if the image doesn't succeed loading, it will fall back to this text. Okay, let's get back. So we need a required width property for image. And let's just say here for 40 pixels, height 40 pixels. Host name, invalid source prop. Let's add this to my NextJS config. Images, allowed, forgot the syntax, images. Let's just open up here, remote patterns. Yeah, remote patterns, and it's an array type. Host name, protocol, I don't care, HTTPS, path name could be anything, port could be anything, I don't care. Okay, let's check again. Is configured. Image when it is not configured under images in your next config.js. Images, I did config this, didn't I? .com. Let's just accept any from. Okay, can you images, remote patterns? Just copy here. Images, HTTPS, assets. Oh, we have to use double star for it in order to work. So we are accepting any HTTPS. Yep. We are accepting any hostname that has a protocol of HTTPS, and the port doesn't matter actually. Okay, the images are loading, and here's the data that we've got. Okay, now we can, mm, here's the good part. We can add anything else that we wanted, like wine rating dot average, like saying out of wine rating reviews, and we hit refresh, and voila, we add new data column to it. This is how fetching in a server component looks like. In the next video, I'm gonna take a look at how to fetch data using a client component or without using async function and without using a wait keyword. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.